You know, when you hear the word yoga, what comes to mind? For most of us, it's probably a physical workout, right? Something for strength and flexibility. But what if that's just scratching the surface? The ancient goal of yoga was never really about perfecting a pose. It was about preparing the body to do something way, way harder, to actually control the mind.
So let's get into it. In this explainer, we're going to go way beyond the gym version of yoga. We'll explore that powerful, almost magical connection between the body and the mind. We'll look at what's actually happening inside your brain during these meditative states, and we'll uncover the incredible science of how this ancient practice can literally rewire our inner world for well-being.
All right, first things first, we've got to challenge that popular idea of yoga as just another form of exercise. Its traditional goal was so much more ambitious. It was all about disciplining the physical body as the necessary first step toward true meditation. And get this isn't some New Age idea. This comes from a 15th century text, the Hatha Yoga Pradipika. It's super explicit about this. It basically says, look, trying to wrestle your mind into submission right from the start, it's an impossible fight for a beginner. The real wisdom is to start where you can actually make some progress with your body. It's a really practical step-by-step approach. This really just lays it all out, doesn't it? The popular view sees the workout as the finish line, but traditionally, all those poses, all that stretching, that's just the warm-up. The real aim of Hatha Yoga is to get the body so stable and purified that you can finally achieve a state where deep meditation even becomes possible. The body stuff is just a means to an end. Okay, so how does holding a pose actually help you control your thoughts? Well, that brings us to the body-mind connection. And this is where yoga gets really clever. It uses these physical techniques, the postures, and especially the breath, to directly hack into our internal automatic systems and our mental states.
You see, the poses themselves, the asanas, they were never meant to be about athleticism or looking good. According to the classic texts, their one single purpose is to build up enough physical stability and comfort so you can sit for a long, long time in meditation. It's all about creating a steady foundation so the real work, the mental work, can happen without your body screaming at you.
And here we find this absolutely crucial insight. The ancient yogis knew that our emotions and our breath are totally locked together in this feedback loop. Think about it. When you get anxious, your breathing gets all short and shallow, right? Well, it works in reverse too. By consciously taking control of your breath, you can directly change your emotional state. This is the whole foundation of what's known as pranayama, or yogic breathing.
So how does this work exactly? It's actually remarkably elegant. Pranayama techniques all focus on one thing, making your exhalation longer and slower. That simple act sends a powerful signal up to your brain, basically telling it to slow your heart rate down. Then your entire autonomic nervous system, the thing that controls your fight or flight response, it just starts to calm down. And if you practice this over time, you actually train your body to have healthier, more resilient heart rate patterns, even when you're not doing it.
Okay, so once the body is calm and your nervous system has settled down, that's when you can start to access these much deeper states of awareness. Now we get to shift gears from the physical to the neurological, and we can look at what modern science tells us is actually going on inside the brain during these states.
Let's take a look at a really fascinating technique called Yoga Nidra, which literally translates to yogic sleep. And here's the wild part. Someone doing it might look like they're fast asleep, but they're not. Their body is in a state of profound relaxation, but their mind is completely conscious, totally alert, and maybe even more receptive than usual.
And when scientists hook people up to brain scanners, what they see is just incredible. There's this big spike in alpha waves, which tells us there's deep relaxation happening. But there's also a spike in theta waves, which usually only show up when you're right on the edge of sleep. This combination creates this totally unique state of consciousness. You're not awake, but you're not asleep either. And it's believed that in this state, learning can actually happen faster. The ancient yogis had a name for this, pratyahara, the withdrawal of the senses.
Okay, we really need to bust a common myth right here. Meditation isn't about emptying your mind or just zoning out. It's actually an incredibly active and, frankly, intense mental exercise. The sheer effort it takes to hold your mind on one single thing makes the brain light up with activity. And we have the proof right here in the brain scans. In experienced meditators, scientists have seen the emergence of these super high-frequency gamma waves. These waves are linked to peak neural activity, to superior concentration and attention. And what's really amazing is that these gamma waves can stick around even after the meditation is over,
which suggests it's causing a lasting change in how the brain functions. And all of this leads us to the ultimate payoff. All this practice, it doesn't just create these temporary moments of calm. It leads to measurable, lasting changes in the brain's chemistry and even its physical structure. It's quite literally about rewiring our own hardware. So what's happening is that meditation is basically triggering this incredible chemical cascade inside you. It lowers the levels of the stress hormone, cortisol, and at the exact same time, it boosts all these beneficial neurotransmitters. Things like GABA, which calms anxiety, dopamine, which is tied to satisfaction, and serotonin, which is crucial for positive moods. It fundamentally changes your inner chemistry for the better.
But it's not just the chemicals. The actual physical structure of the brain changes too. Research has shown that a consistent meditation practice is directly linked to an increase in the thickness of gray matter in the cortex. That's the brain's outer layer. You can honestly think of it like building a muscle at the gym, but you're doing it for your brain.
And the parts of the brain that are getting stronger, they're the ones that are absolutely critical for things like attention control, regulating your emotions, and self-awareness. What makes this so significant is that these areas up in the prefrontal cortex are the very same ones that are really vulnerable to decline as we get older. This suggests that meditation could be a seriously powerful tool for protecting our brains and keeping our minds sharp as we age.
So yeah, the health benefits are incredible, right? Less stress, better mood, a healthier brain, but we have to remember, in the grand scheme of things, those are just happy side effects. The true ancient goal of yoga isn't just to get rid of a bad mood or a health problem. It's a method for transforming our entire nature, our personality, our fundamental way of being in the world.
And that really leaves us with a pretty profound question to think about, doesn't it? If a practice that starts with something as simple as physical postures and breathing can lead to such deep changes in our brain's chemistry and structure, what else could we change? What other habits or thought patterns or emotional reactions that we think are just who we are could we intentionally change from the ground up?